The Mastermind, new film from Kelly Reichardt, whose previous work includes First Cow. This is a kind of deconstructed heist thriller starring Josh O'Connor, Alana Haim, and John Magaro. Film takes place in 1970. We follow J.B. Mooney, an unsuccessful architect turned furniture maker. He has a wife and two kids, leads a seemingly unremarkable, boring life. But when we meet him, he is planning a heist with some other small-time crooks from town. He intends to rob the local museum and steal four valuable paintings. But when he goes through with this plan, things quickly turn to worse. So I said earlier, it's a deconstruction of a heist thriller because that's, I think, the most apt, concise description of the movie. It takes a situation often romanticized in media, which is an art heist, and it completely demystifies it by showing how inept and short-thinking the people who do such things are, how they tend to think higher of themselves than they actually deserve, and how crime ruins their lives completely more often than not, bringing nothing good. Uh, it's a boring film, but I think deliberately so. Once the heist is done, it completely lacks any excitement or serious tension. It is mundane and unremarkable and shows you what happens to this character, who probably thinks of himself as a mastermind, as the title would suggest, but in reality is a fool with no plan, left to drift from town to town with no purpose until his story kind of randomly ends in a very anticlimactic, ironic way. Josh O'Connor is brilliant in the film. He's really good at projecting this energy of someone who looks unremarkable, is really unremarkable, but inside of him there's this belief that he can do more, that he can aspire to more, and that he can make something of himself. But he attempts to achieve that through illegal means. And through him, the movie explores the idea that crime doesn't pay, that it's not glamorous or exciting, and that criminals are not brilliant people in the end. The film looks great, has this sort of sunburned yellowish tint to it, feels like a warm 1970s afternoon, at least in the first half. Great production design with the clothes and sets and cars really transports you into the time period. The world feels lived in with all the side characters and background conversations and broadcasts about Vietnam War and protesters showing up in a couple of scenes. And finally, the movie has a phenomenal jazzy score that, especially in the first half, really draws you in and sort of fools you into thinking this will be a snappy, exciting heist film. All in all, I would put it like this. It's a good movie, but it isn't for everyone because it takes on the risky task of exploring an idea that is deliberately boring. If you like plot-driven movies, I think you may fall asleep watching this. But again, I think the film realizes its intention rather well, and for that, I appreciated it.